The Biden administration requested special permission from Congress last month to increase Secret Service spending in the upcoming weeks, even if only a short-term spending bill is passed to prevent a government shutdown, multiple sources from Congress, and the administration confirmed.
The White House Office of Management and Budget submitted this so-called anomaly request to congressional committees in August.
A massive pipeline fire near Houston, which burned for hours, was triggered when a vehicle struck an above-ground valve after driving through a fence, officials reported.
Authorities in Deer Park stated that both local police and FBI agents have found no evidence of terroristic activity.
More than a dozen people have died following severe and historic flooding in parts of Europe over the weekend, which overtook several towns.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact.
All right.
Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Fine. Be that way.
A cup of coffee in here, please.
No. No coffee for you. I'm fact-checking it. Too busy fact-checking. I was told to fact-check.
Damn good coffee. And hot.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with the Dog. You make me laugh.
That's a lot of pressure. You make me laugh. Well, I don't know. Why did the chicken cross the road? Because it was coming to my house. All 5 of them. All 5 chickens. There's only 5 chickens. All right, so you didn't laugh. See, that's a lot of pressure. I don't know if I'm up to it. Good morning. Rotten, dastardly. I got my new glasses. Good morning, anyway. I got my new glasses, and they look like Coke bottles. I should probably wear the ones I've been wearing in the meantime. These glasses, they don't look like they did. I got extras in case, because I know I'm going to break them. They don't look like they did on the website, though. Hey, this one comes with a string to hold it onto your head. That's probably what I need, a string to hold it onto my head so I don't break them. Anyway, good morning. It is Wednesday, hump day, hump your Wednesday, September 18th. 2024, kind of overcast and crappy, almost the real end of summer. I think the official end of summer was about 6 months ago. But I think Friday is the last full day of summer, and then the equinox is 7 p.m. on Saturday. That's what I think. And I could be wrong. I'm wrong about everything, right? Right or wrong? Wrong or right? Today, we're G.D. Fenderson is going to be buying every listening person in the audience, solar panels. It's a great offer. I can't believe he's doing it. Such a generous offer. G.D. Fenderson will be supplying everybody who's listening and writing in today, everybody in the chat room, free portable solar powers. Not free. He's paying for them. So you're getting them free. But it's not absolutely free. He's paying for it. But what a good guy. What a good guy to do that for us. And coincidentally, he has arranged for our first guest to join us today, who is a vice president of Gizmo Power, who supplies those. So I guess it's a little under the table cash going back and forth. I don't know, bribery. It's whatever it is. It's criminal behavior. But we don't care because we're not going to jail. He is. So that's good, right? Right. Anyway, in the second hour, now this is where it gets. Well, should I say confused? If I say confused, then I am confused. But everybody knows I'm a homophobe anyway. I'm just going to say it. We have a director of films, historic films, that focuses on the LGBTQIA plus aspect of history. I'll say that again. LGBTQIA plus. Now that's where my confusion comes in. First of all, I don't know how the I got in there. That is the I new, and what does it stand for? It's LGBTQIA. And the plus has me confused. So there's two things that have me confused: the I and the plus. And why do the L's come first? By the way, women always come first. But I don't know. The I. I'm confused by it. I'm sure he tells us, but he's also, as I mentioned, he's a director of films that focus on historic. I and plus is really where the money's at, but all those other things too. But he's also an author of a book called Primetime Travelers, which is about, I don't know, it's about a direct. This is a stretch. I mean, how did he think this up? It's about a director of films who goes back in time, history thing, and to ancient Egypt. I think looking for INA. Maybe it's AI. Ever think of that? And the plus. I don't know. I'm all confused. His name is Neil Laird, and I'm sure he will probably tolerate my just wild, out of control homophobia, and bear with us and explain this stuff to me, because I don't understand any of it. I mean, even time travel. I'm fascinated by time travel. Don't get me wrong. I would love to go back to 1970. Let me pick a number here. 73, 74, 73, 74. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'd like to go back that far. I don't want to go back to ancient Egypt, and I certainly don't want the INA people, I plus people, the AI people. I'm all confused. You can see how I get confused easily. But so we'll talk about Primetime Travelers, and I did see a documentary. I'm wondering if he was the director of it. I saw a film on ancient Greece, ancient Rome, and they were saying there was no such thing as gayness. Everybody was just like piling on. You just had sex with everybody. Everybody was having sex with everybody. Nobody called it gay. Nobody called it bisexual. They just said, thanks for coming over. Let's do lunch and fuck. No matter who. Which I'm not sure if I'm not sure how that would play in today's world, but let's all just pile on, flesh pile in the corner. You see why I'm a little intimidated by this stuff and a little homophobic. You can see that, right? You see it. Do you see it? Anyway, should that be a good conversation? Good conversation, and definitely make for some good short reels that I will never get around to producing, because Opus has probably about 600 reels that I have not published. Lately, it's been thinking that Stephen Ortiz is the focal point of this program, and I can't get it to focus on anybody else other than Stephen Ortiz. Something about his newly shaved chrome dome is attracting the AI editor, whatever it is. Look at that. Now, I've been bringing this very attractive chrome dome to the visual portion of this program forever. So maybe it's not the chrome dome. but I can't imagine what, because lately, the last 2 weeks, it's nothing but Stephen Ortiz. Even when he's not talking, this is the thing. The guest is talking, and you see Stephen going over there like, whatever he does, picking his nose, going to sleep. Whatever. He's just, playing video games. I don't playing with his pecker. Whatever he's doing, he's definitely not involved in the conversation. He's just sitting there. He's like Ron Kane, but every once in a while he will say something. That's the only difference between him and Ron Kane. They actually share the same wheelchair. I don't know if you knew that. This is a bridge too far. I've gone too far already, and I can't come back. Everybody hates me now. I'm just going to leave. I'll just let GD run the program. It's, the first guest is his anyway. I don't. I didn't book her. I don't know. Just give it to him. It's his show, right? That's what we'll do. Anyway, all right. I'm gonna play a commercial. Try to come to grips with my own lack of decency, really. And when we come back, we'll meet the dog pound again, and hopefully they'll all be equally angry at me. But here's the bright side. When we come back, GD is going to tell us exactly how we can get our free solar panels, how he's going to supply them to everybody within the sound of my voice. It's a great thing. I can't believe he's doing that for us. Let's shed a little light on the anxiety of the moment.
Mind Bloom is helping people achieve life-changing clinical and personal breakthroughs, alchemizing both the psychedelic medication, psychiatric care from psychiatric clinicians, coaches, we call psychedelic guides, and a lot of content and meditations and programs into this really transformational experience that, because it's delivered at home, costs a lot less and is a lot more convenient for people to receive.
I didn't mean to interrupt the... Oh, good morning. Look, see, AI is watching Steven sleep and play with his pecker in the room with me now.
I ain't sleeping and play with... Okay, I am playing with my pecker, but I ain't sleeping, man.
Steven Pecker player, wheel boy or something.
Hold on.
Funny boy. Oh, look. Ron Kane, who wants to be like Steven, except he's not so talkative. And my best friend of the last, actually like 16 months, I say 37 years. I wish it was 37 years. The man who is going to buy us all free solar panel. Well, not free. He's going to buy us solar panels. And they're not free. They're actually quite expensive. Mr. H.G. Wells. H.C., good morning. I'm looking at the price of these solar panels you're going to buy us.
Good morning, America. MyDogTV.com. Is your cat or dog nervous, jumpy, having trouble sleeping? We can help. Buy our new vinyl album, Calming Songs for Your Cats and Dogs. You'll get songs like Puppy Love by Ron Kane.
I think that's John LaFoot.
Let Me Pet Your Pussy by Stevie Ortiz. Shut Up Already by Matt Nappo.
Yeah.
And the Peanut Butter Waltz by G.D. Fenderson. Your pets will thank you. MyDogTV.com. Support your local mercenaries.
Ron, a little fungal thing starting to happen there. Fast acting, tenactin.
Now that's just the FU back in front.
Even Ron was speaking. When Ron speaks, we have a super moon. What were we saying, Ron? Excuse me.
I was saying, REO Speedwagon has broken up. Who gives a shit? Maybe if I fucked my cousin, I would be into it. If I had the audacity to call Crack the Sky music, I would be sweeping abortions off of steps. Journey is still around, but so is pegging. Do you smell that?
Ladies and gentlemen, my heart is overflowing with joy. I don't know if you could tell this. I've been trying for 4 years to get Miley Cyrus on the program. It wasn't quite a longer segment as I had hoped for. I really didn't get to ask her any questions, but the fact that she took time out of her day to be on the program this morning, my life is complete. I might as well just lay down and die.
I don't like the idea of smelling anything she's doing, to be honest with you, especially pegging.
Well, I like how she had that hot take on REO Speedwagon. That's why.
Yeah, the hot take on REO Speedwagon was the real feature there. That was shots fired. Shots fired.
Don't you ever say anything bad about Miley Cyrus ever again. I will.
My bad. I didn't mean to skank up the place.
I will send you an exploding pager.
Okay, hold on. This is why we don't use 30-year-old technology, Lebanon.
I know. Well, this is
They exploded because their batteries are old.
30-year. It's like, yeah, I think older than that. I mean, who the fuck uses pagers anymore? And where they even find pagers? Who? I'm just confused.
And why were there so many pagers that many people got hurt?
Okay, here's the deal.
All right,
here's the deal.
Mr. Solar Powered H.G. Wells has the answer for us.
Here's the deal. Hezbollah uses pagers because they don't want to be tracked, like cell phones and so forth. So pagers that's why they're using the pagers. Now, Israel knew this, and about 4 years ago, I think it was like 4 years ago, it could be 2 years ago, but they sabotaged those pagers that were going to Hezbollah. The problem is, I think the pagers are made in Taiwan and Hungary, Budapest, and both countries are going like, hey, they didn't do it here. It was not us. That's not our shit.
It's those hungry terrorists.
You can track a pager.
Well, just like a cell phone, it pings off of towers, right?
Right.
Still uses cellular technology.
Well, then maybe it was different technology they're trying to avoid, but that's why Hezbollah uses them, so that they, because like cell phones, you can intercept messages, but anyway, that was.
Did you guys see the videos?
It's like, wait a minute, but okay, you're giving a reason why Hezbollah uses them. What confuses me is like, is there a sundial factory somewhere? Because there obviously has to be a pager factory, some place that is still making pagers.
Taiwan. There's a place in Taiwan and a place in Budapest.
And they have one customer, and it's a terrorist organization. That's it. I mean, who else?
There's a place in U.S. and Canada that sells pagers too, but they're primarily only used by medical professionals.
They sell them, but they're not. I'm talking about the people who are making them. They really have one customer.
There has to be a sundial factory because you can buy a sundial at Hobby Lobby.
I think you make your own. Would you just go outside in the dirt? You put a little circle in the dirt. You put a stick in the middle of this.
This is 2024. I'll go spend $30 on a sundial. Thank you.
All right, I'll sell you one. I'll come over and build you like lots of them all over your yard. Each one you're gonna pay me $30 each for. Here's the deal: you won't be needing any of this kind of old technology because H.G. Wells is buying us all solar farms. We're going to be able to power the world.
Future, baby. Let's go.
I'm just so grateful that he's doing this. I don't know like he woke up and thought, I'm going to be, just Mr. Magnanimous and just take care of the world's power.
KG Wentworth, when you get us solar panels, can you hook mine up to my power chair so I can travel the country?
Yeah. Sure. You know what? They also could be used as shade. This is the good thing,
right?
But
what y'all are tossing my way right now. I feel the shade y'all are throwing at me right now.
Hey, speaking of that, Matt, how often do you shave your head, and what SPF do you use when you go outside?
I think I have skin cancer on the top of my head. By the way,
that's fine, but that didn't answer my question.
No, you just reminded me. Generally, I shave my head every day, but sometimes twice a day. But I haven't in 2 days, and then nothing's growing back. Well, I don't know if you could tell in this format, but it's just like a little, not growing as fast as you do.
I got that little roughness going, but I have to shave it every day. Otherwise, I get it. Yeah, I was just curious.
The reason I have not shaved in a day and a half is because I'm confused about where this I came from. LBGTQIA. The I wasn't always there, right? Am I wrong about this? Is this a Mandela effect? Like,
no, I don't.
They stuck the I after Mandela died. They stuck the I in there.
Right? I don't know. The last
I wrote the I was not always there. The I sorry. Go ahead.
So he rebranded.
When I wrote my LGBTQ plus joke. It ended at LGBTQ and then plus.
Oh,
I don't know.
Why did
Good
we make
morning. Aren't you supposed to be on the show today?
I am so sure, and I'm in fucking Albuquerque. Oh my!
I'm in fucking Albuquerque with the tribal people. I'm on a Papoose Patuck Albuquerque 505 edition. Hello? He's muted. This is not good. This is not how you
not good television.
This is not how you do.
Worst
You solo yourself out and then mute yourself. Is
what
not.
the fuck?
Well, she's probably just saying she's probably taking a steamy dump right now.
No, she wrote to me and said she was going to be in the tribal, I don't know, hotel, sweat lodge, whatever.
So you're saying that her bathroom smells like that steamy dump and sweaty rod? Ew.
So it smells like the sun. Smells like the sun. It's solar powered toilet.
Mr. Matt, could you resend the link to her, please?
No, you.
You
can. See on the bottom that invite button.
Where did you send it to her? Did you send it to her email or did you send it to her phone or where did you send it?
I included it in the notes in the Calendly link where she signed up. She should have gotten an email from them. But you have the invite. You could just text it to her right there, right now. If the invite button at the bottom, you see that invite button?
Yeah, I got it.
See that? She's in a sweat lodge in the 505, or the Puspatak 505 branch of the family, or whatever she's doing out there. Maybe she's getting some extra. She's grabbing some extra solar from the Sun Belt to bring it back to Maryland.
Well, yeah, if he's buying everyone a solar panel, she needs to bring some extra solar. That just makes sense.
All right. When we were so rudely interrupted by GD soloing himself out to mute himself so we could just see him talking to no one, and the people on the radio saying, did my radio just break?
Everyone heard her squeezing a loaf out anyway. So
yeah, really. I think I got a whoa.
She was like, I'm in Albuquerque.
I got to cut down on the brand. Before we saw, GD was going to explain to me the I was not always there. Where did it come from, and what the hell does it stand for? I'm confused. Like, what could the I stand? I know what the L stands for. I know what the B stands for. I know what
IBID. It stands for IBID.
BLG. I know the G. I know the T. I know the Q.
Okay, the I stands for intersex. Sorry about the delay there. She said she'll be in about 5. Erica will be here in about 5 minutes.
That's fine.
Yeah, she overslept. She's in Albuquerque.
Wait, what is? I don't. She'll be here. That's all we that matter. Yeah. What does the I stand for?
Intersex. INTERSEX.
What the fuck is intersex?
Okay, there's some people that by birth, either for I guess in their chromosomes they may have an extra Y or an extra X. At any rate, they're not straight. They're usually not like XX or XY. So most people are XX or XY.
That's algebra. I got to solve for X. So why don't we, instead of the I, take the AI and take the I out and put XY
or H?
I have no idea.
I'm all confused. See, this is very confusing.
Hermaphrodite is when you have both sex organs. But intersex, you may not have both sex organs. It's just a chromosomal.
Now you confuse me even more because I thought hermaphrodites were born with tits and a dick.
Well, no, tits don't come until puberty. It's a vagina and a penis.
Yeah,
a vagina and a penis. Wow, you could actually fuck yourself. If you could bend it, like you could fuck yourself.
I've seen it on Reddit. It happens.
Yeah, if you could bend it like Beckham, then you could. Yes.
I'm sorry to make light of this, but I'm a silly guy, and everything sexual, even straight sex, is just goofy and silly to me.
100%. Sex is goofy in general. I think porn. If you put circus music behind any porn video, it makes it just extremely hilarious.
There was a spoof on porn. It was a French movie. and the guy needed a job, but his specialty was sound effects for cartoons. But he needed a job, and so he took a job with a porn filmmaker, and he just said that he was, he could do the sound effects for the porn. And he replaced all the porn sound effects with cartoon sounds like and stuff like that. And
what's this guy's name? Ron Kane.
Yes, that was Ron's
feature.
feature.
What type of porn you guys are watching, or what type of sex you're having, but count me out.
Oh, listen! If you can't enjoy a nice little while she's doing the tightrope walk on your penis, then I don't want to hear it. Okay, you're doing it wrong.
I have to get the phone hooked back up because I'm very tempted to call a deli and order a BLT plus Q sandwich.
Ew, wait. What's the Q? Wait, is that bacon, lettuce, tomato, and guacamole?
Queer. No, queer.
No, queefing.
I don't want queer on my sandwich.
It's bacon, lettuce, tomato, and queefing. I mean,
that I would take.
You guys got it. You got to check out the Sarah Talamash latest special. There's some things about, I don't know.
You should take back that sandwich and say, "There's so much air in this bread. Take it back."
Yeah.
It faintly smells like penis. All right, go on.
All right, so wait a minute. I'm coming back to this. Well, I probably should save this for the second hour, but I am so curious. Not be curious. I am so curious. Intersex is in there now. If intersex is in there, what do we need the plus for? Haven't we got all the bases
Apparently
covered?
Not, because there's no P in there for pansexuals.
I thought the plus covered everybody else. That
That's what the
wasn't
plus is for. The plus is to cover everybody else. Because
so why does it keep getting longer?
Why can't we just say people?
Even people are starting to feel left out. So that's why they just keep adding more and more.
It just should be P. It just should be P. Take the whole, get rid of all those letters and just put P.
That's right, for people.
People that don't want labels love labels.
That's true. That's very true. An astute thing. Too bad AI. That's the one moment AI won't be focusing on him when he said something actually of value. AI will just say, "Let's show Ron's foot." Yeah. So
I mean, I'm still bricked up from the foot thing.
The one thing that the only letter, well, not the only letter, but the one letter that
hand churned.
That's what the plus is for, the extra mayo. I'm sorry, GD is speaking, and I'm being rude.
No, I'm just saying that the A is the one that to me is
baby
kind of silly. I'm using silly in a a polite way.
What is the A? What
asexual?
Oh, see, they don't belong in there.
That is my philosophy in theory.
Is it asexual, non-sexual?
At this point, I think I fall under that, and I don't know what color of the rainbow that would be represented by. But in the rainbow flag, I'm the A guy. I'm an A student.
You're not asexual. Wait, does it asexual mean you're not sexual?
Yes.
You're not asexual.
According to my dick, I am.
Well, I mean, that sounds like a marriage counseling thing, not a health thing. But
no, it's more of a health thing. Listen, as soon as I applied for Social Security, my dick said, "Well, I'm done. Thank you."
Well, that's not how that works. Because I applied for Social Security when I was 19, and I'm still hard as a rock.
Because your dick doesn't listen when you apply. My dick actually is eavesdropping on everything I do. It's like my iPhone, like Siri.
I think my dick will last longer because it's using the backup reserves from my legs.
I just, I'm bored with sex. I think sex is boring. I really do. The whole idea of it is just like. What?
Okay, see again, you're just not doing it right, man. Listen, you gotta spice it up. You gotta go.
No, that's the problem. I did too much. That was it. I mean, there was just too much of it, and it's just come on.
Maybe, but you just gotta take some risks, man. Go do it on the top of Sears Tower. Go do it on a subway train like a homeless guy.
Did it?
Okay, do it in a barn. Do it in a barn next to a paralyzed and blind donkey.
You did it.
Okay. in lieu of doing well, let me introduce Erica. Bring her in.
You don't even know how to do it. You're gonna solo yourself out. You're gonna mute yourself. Oh, I thought to introduce her and bring her in the room.
Okay. If you fuck this up, you're out.
Would you like me to do it? Oh, no, I think you should learn to do it. Do you know?
Come on, Big Shoots. Let's go. Come on, Big Shoots.
The first thing you need to do, you see on the bottom there, the layouts. You have to pick that 5 layout. The one that is called 4-peep, but it's actually 5-peep. There's 3 on the top and 2 on the bottom. Kind of like
we all know that GD is 4-peep.
LGBTQ, XYZ.
Right, that one.
Yeah, but get Ron out of there. Come on, we can't have the
I
ugly
just
on. We can't have the ugly on the bottom. All right.
So you're on the bottom. There we go. Now bring.
I'm a bottom guy.
Yes,
we know.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your entertainment and your pleasure and your misery, I'm bringing my good friend Erica Klimt, Erica Ginsberg Klimt.
No, Erica Marie Ginsberg.
No, she only uses Marie on Thursdays. Today's not Thursday.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. Whose friend is she? Yours or mine?
Are you going to bring her in or not? You're going to click that button? There you go.
I wasn't going to bring her until I was sure she had a bra on. That's all.
Well, you didn't wait till I had a bra on.
Yeah, me neither. What the hell, man? He told me I had to put a shirt on too, and I don't think that's fair.
Good morning, Erica.
Welcome to the show.
Yes, that's what I say. Welcome to the show.
What I want to know is what kind of stalking you've been doing to know that my middle name's Maria.
The kind of stalking I've been doing is called reading email.
Oh, Erica, there's a man behind you.
In your email, that's what it says. It says from in the from field.
There's a man behind you, but you don't have to worry unless he's German.
Yeah.
Not only, it's the only kind of man you want behind you.
Right.
Oh, that's true.
I thought we were waiting for the second hour for that conversation. So before we get into this all about, you're out in the 505. You're in my old neighborhood. You're in.
Is that right?
Yes,
is that right? Yes. I'm on the res.
You are on the res. What's the assignment? Why are you there? Is there a reason that you're there?
Yes, because the res is its own AHJ, baby.
AHJ.
Wow, you guys don't know what an AHJ is, see?
No, I'm still worrying what the I is and the plus. No, we've started all over. I think we determined that the A is asexual, which I'm glad to own up to finally.
I thought you were talking about HJs, like hand jobs. Never mind.
Oh, HJs. Oh, no, I'm not that boring, no.
I could make a racist and homophobic comment all in one with that, with the on the reservation with the head. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, good. I can see I can't fuck this one up. Okay.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm going to hell anyway.
I was very worried I'd be a little too unwoke or something. No, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
So the reality is AHJ. What's woke? Woke is somebody controlling you. That's all it is.
No, he doesn't. Woke is what you are not until you've had your coffee.
I could drink all the coffee in the world, and I'm not going to get woke because I haven't slept.
It's not coffee that does that for me. It's the ganja.
Yeah. So
I'll take anything, any mind bender at this point. Anything to just that was my nickname in high school. I live in.
Wow. So what's the AHJ stand for?
So AHJ, let's go back to that AHJ stuff. AHJ is a very strange expression that only people who are involved in renewable energy understand. Because AHJ just is a passive way of saying authority having jurisdiction. It means the asshole who's going to tell you whether or not you have the right to generate your own electricity.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? That kind of almost is like the people who were getting in trouble for collecting their own rainwater, and like the government getting involved. Like, where the fuck do you get off telling me I can't collect rainwater?
It's fucking crazy.
Insane.
Yeah,
Oh my God! Can I hire you?
sure.
Can I fucking hire you? That I've been looking for analogies, and the only one I could come up with was marijuana. So water is a lot more widely acceptable.
Yeah, yeah, no.
But way less fun. Way less fun.
Yeah, until you've been in the desert for 40 days, and then
water's needed.
There are
water is fun.
moments, though. Yeah, there are moments.
So how does a lady
Ron,
with
Ron, they're running over you. Who's this guy, Ron? He's supposed to be funny. He has a picture behind him saying comedy.
yeah, that's what it says, right?
Okay, he's just quiet and smirks, and everybody thinks that's funny. Got it. All right.
I think he's smoking water back there.
Nice to meet Ron, Steven, and Mind Dog. TV, I already know that guy. Okay.
How does a lady with turquoise color hair get involved in the renewable energy and especially solar power panels?
The same way I got verklempt. I'm a Ginsburg. I got verklempt. I married a Clem.
Okay, that's Hebrew for pregnant. That's what verklempt means. That's Hebrew.
That's
for
right.
Pregnant.
Oh, okay. I was confused. I wasn't picking up the schliggity that was being lingoed, you know.
Yiddish for pregnant.
So yeah, I got dragged into this stuff kicking and screaming. It was not my thing. I studied French literature, humanities. I have nothing to do with saving the world. I'm not even an entrepreneur. I just, but then one day during COVID, my husband and my daughter were sitting around and they decided that it was a good idea to put solar panels over a place that you park, your EV, so that you could park over, be shaded because it's fucking hot in Florida. I'm not in Florida now, but I did raise my kids in that sunny place for shady people. And it's shady people and not shaded EVs. And there's almost no EVs anyhow. So my daughter always had that one place to park where the EV charger is, but it's so hot. So she said, Daddy, why can't we just put solar panels over where we park? And he said, because the AHJs are a pain in the ass. Now, why does he know the expression AHJ? Because we already had 60 panels that he put on our roof. He gave them the thing. He did it himself. He found somebody to sign the paperwork because you got to connect, right? You want the interconnection agreement so that you can export the surplus energy you make so that you have what's called an ROI. The return on investment comes down on your solar system. So he said it's a pain in the ass to try to get a carport permitted to connect to the grid. So they figured out, well, why don't we just put it on wheels? Put it on wheels, and then maybe we avoid the permits, right? It's like a vehicle. It's not part of the building. So what are the building officials going to say? So that's what they did, and they got the patent, and that's how I got dragged into this. So
very cool.
Usually, putting things on wheels is the best way to go. My parents did that to me. Best thing ever. So I applaud.
Right? That. Look at you. Nobody can catch him. He's just going. So, but the wheels are more.
I was playing my solar powered violin. I don't know if you could hear.
Oh, because your black hole of a heart sucks up all the sunlight and energy.
There's no sun today.
I know it's cloudy and foggy here too. It sucks. Back to you, Erica.
Look, folks.
That like a professional reporter.
Clouds. Solar panels work with clouds. Solar power work with dark clouds. I didn't know that. You still need the sun, but it's not like you're sitting there getting suntan every day. No,
you got to tell this to Donald Trump, because every time
he loves solar panels. He loves them. Didn't you hear
yeah, but he always brings up when it's cloudy. They don't work when it's cloudy. What if it rains?
He's also scared it's going to suck up all the sun.
Yeah,
and eat the sharks.
And
the sharks, right? They're gonna bust all our panels. So, guys, it turns out that the wheels aren't the problem. I was blown away. We started making this thing and we got the patent and we start trying to get it permitted and stuff. The wheels aren't the problem. The problem is the plug. Yeah, the plug. So, whoa, think about this. Think about that for a minute. Just.
I've been thinking about plugs all my life.
Have you?
Wrong plugs, Matt.
Yeah,
wrong plugs.
When I
no,
started
wrong
losing,
plugs.
when I started losing hair, I thought plugs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, plugs there, plugs down here.
Oh, see, Erica gets it. Erica gets it, Matt. Come on, man.
I do. I get it. I get it. You know, my husband says, like a plug without a socket, I'm just waiting around for you. You guys remember that line? Plugs, man.
I'm glad I didn't sleep.
Plugs are everywhere. Plugs are everywhere. Now, when you think of your solar panels and a solar system on your roof, do you think of a plug? No. You think of a big contractor looking a little like Mind Dog who comes in and goes, yeah, let's see what's the facing. And yeah, you got to put it here. And then we're going to hardwire this to the premises of the panel. And then you got to have it. Bull fucking shit.
Okay. Let me just tell you about my experience, and you'll tell me that we've come a long way in the last 12 years. Because 12 years ago, I was playing a benefit for a solar-powered renewable energy festival, and they had a stage set up with the lighting and all the amplification set up for solar power. I said, "Is this thing gonna work?" Yeah, it's all been tested very well. We got up, we played one note, and everything went off, and we ended up having to plug in to a building.
To a building.
Did you blow a bus? Did you blow a bus or something?
No, we blew up none of the. I don't know. None of the solar stuff was working. Basically, we got one note out. They said it was reliable. It was tested. Everything was going to work with plenty of power for the show, and it was actually plenty of power for one note. So and.
It was a one-note show.
It was the one-note samba.
Yeah. But so have we significantly progressed since? And I mean, it's only 12 years ago. So
you never know. It might have been sponsored by Duke Energy or Dominion or FPL. They sponsored that show and went bang and said, "See, it doesn't work."
Good point. To sabotage the whole industry.
Never know who's behind what in this field. Oh my God, you just don't know. Especially now, gentlemen, and I get to say that. I haven't looked underneath.
Yeah, you say gentlemen, I think you're probably looking at the wrong people.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not true. I have an obnoxiously average penis. I am full male, though.
You are. God, I didn't get caught on that one because yesterday I got.
Nobody gets caught on it. It's okay.
Yesterday I got bitched out by a Native American woman for saying her name exactly how it's spelled, and whoa, you better watch out the way you're talking. Okay. All
Sounds like my daily guest introductions routine here.
Excuse me. So, were we on the plugs or were we on the male genitalia? I don't remember.
Well, we were on the reliability of it. But here's the thing. You mentioned the AHJ, because there's always an authority, and who the fuck is that authority is often the question.
That's the question. Who's the... He gets it. You see, there are 32,000 million No, I don't want to exaggerate. I did read when my hubby told me that there are 32,000 AHJs in America. I didn't believe him.
Right.
Then I found out that there really are about that many. Now you have to think every state, every county, every locality, every municipality can have their own interconnection rules, their own connection ideas, the co-ops, the utilities, every everybody who has anything to do with that energy can have say about it. And you guys, I have to sit here. There's something wrong with this picture. Just a few things. I got to say the things I see right now. Why is it that we learn in kindergarten and elementary school that monopolies are bad, that we live in a place where everybody gets a chance for, competition and capitalist society, but nobody has a problem talking about vertically integrated monopolies when we talk about, FPL and Duke and whoever you're paying your Southern California Edison to.
Yeah.
Why is that so okay?
Yeah, no, antitrust laws are for John Rockefeller and Vanderbilt, but not applying to Elon Musk or anybody in the modern age. They're just for people from 120 years ago.
It's like I always say, you cannot trust antitrust laws.
The thing is, Elon Musk made a fucking good Tesla out there. Have you sat one of those? That is a boner generator. That thing
Listen, hold on. You're not completely wrong, but I have to throw out there, they are giant turds. They are so poorly built. They're so poorly built. They're so cheaply built. But that being said, though, we got to give it to Elon Musk for making electric vehicles cool. He's the reason all the other manufacturers said, okay, let's jump on this, and then they made cooler vehicles because the Model S, the Model 3, the Model X, and Model Y are sexy cars. They are sexy cars.
They did have.
He had nothing to do with the design of them. Nothing.
Yeah, and they had
but he hired the people that did.
No, he bought the company from them.
The fact is, guys, gentlemen, you have a choice whether or not you want to buy a fucking Tesla or not. You do not have a choice on where you buy your electricity, and you don't have a choice whether or not you can generate your own. And we have these really important greenhouse gas offset and the Inflation Reduction Act and the Green Movement. And guess what? This is the irony of it, gentlemen. I have a 2-year Department of Energy grant that they have given me all sorts of money. Where's those balloons? Are you making a comment about my balloons?
No, you're on an apple. If you do a plus sign, if you do a peace sign, it gives you balloons. If you do 2 thumbs up, it'll give you fireworks.
Oh,
give us the 2 thumbs up. Let's see what happens. Steven just lies. He just lies.
All right. I know what you do with these. I know what you do with these plugs. All right. So here's the thing is they have a lot of lip service about making this huge revolution, but guess what's revolutionizing is a plug. Because you see, by plugging in and generating electricity, what you are doing is showing that this is something not, the boogeyman has to generate it out there and we have to pay for it. No, we can generate our own electricity. And guess what? It's good for the grid and it's good for the earth. So it's especially good for your pocketbook. It's especially good for making your own money. So the problem is not everybody gets it. When they see the mega and they're like, that thing looks like a fucking, I don't know, a high school.
That's one of the problems. I just want to share that one of the problems is stupid friggin' people. I live in a area that has a lot of affluent people. It's not a rich neighborhood. There are poor people living next to rich people, but there are a lot of rich people here. And we built a solar panel grid that was like about a mile long where there was basically wasted land that was doing nothing. They complained about the way it looked, the aesthetic of it, and had all of it pulled out so that we could see nothing but flat green grass again. It's like, and they complain about the energy costs being too high. This was a solution that was going to bring down everybody's energy costs, but they didn't like the black panels out there. It was an eyesore, according to them, and so they had it all pulled out. So the stupid public that just can't make up their minds whether they want more affordable, more renewable energy, cleaner energy, or they just want to see grass.
Yeah, if Erica, I have the video up. If you can show people, we can show people what the
yeah. Let's do it. Let's get this party started.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, parties, let's go.
So many excuses for not going solar. It's too expensive.
No, let's do this one. Sorry, I'm going to do this one.
I like that one. Okay, that one works too.
Hampton, Virginia. Today I'm here to introduce
Look at those
you
balloons.
To the MEGA. That stands for Make Electricity Great Again. Just kidding. It stands for a mobile electricity generating appliance. It is not a structure that is constructed on your roof or as a ground mount. This is portable, powerful, and plug-in by means of a 240-volt split-phase plug that goes into an outlet in your home or commercial business.
Love the plug talk.
What's beautiful about it is that it moves. It's 5 kilowatts of power for a single mega, and a weakling like me can move it myself. See? Solar on wheels coming to your driveway.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
Woo!
Gonna what?
What is this? The Bee Gees?
Yeah, it's something free. Who gives a shit? It's something I won't get dragged to solar jail using. So what you're seeing is that, we go ahead and pivot it up, and then you can just roll it right onto like a trailer, and then bring it with you. Think about this. It's no longer going to make your homeowner's insurance go up. You no longer have higher property taxes. You no longer have it as part of the building envelope. It's just like your refrigerator, man. And because it generates so much electricity, and you no longer have electric bills either. If you're in a sunny place with that thing, you can kiss your electric and gas bills goodbye. That's 5 kilowatts of power. You do realize those panels are just getting more and more and more robust and more powerful. So yeah, I did get in an accident with that blueberry thing.
All right. I hate to be such a miserable contrarian,
but come on.
I have a couple questions.
No. I'm speaking. When I'm speaking, you wax your head, you roll back around, you roll around, do whatever you do. You play with your pecker, whatever you do in the off time. In my neighborhood, I'd come home and that would be gone. Oh yeah, it's on wheels. Yeah, and so the crooks are on wheels. And then I'd be driving through town and I'd see somebody with one. That motherfucker stole my. And then I'd be like chasing somebody around town pulling solar panels. That's
the wheels come off, dear. The wheels come right off as a.
That's kind of like this program.
There you go. It's got alternative ground mount anchors, and in fact, guys, Rome wasn't built in a day, so we have to get these permitted now. Because guess what? When you go in to interconnect this thing, you fill out a form and it says, what are you, rooftop or ground mount? There's no third box. So if there's no fucking third box, how are you going to get it permitted?
No, I get it.
And you must have a permit to interconnect. Otherwise, guess what? They could charge you twice. You could,
I just want to point out that Erica's
this way is going to go out that way.
Erica's appearance on the program this morning is being powered by solar.
My internet is.
Our internet is powered by solar. So
this is bad.
Okay, so I have
terrible.
Go ahead, Stephen.
Okay, so I have 3 questions about your setup. So
wait, who told you get 3 questions? Who told you get 3 questions? Now she can't hear your questions. You can ask 3 questions now.
Is this what we can expect from solar? No, I'm just kidding.
No, I guess that's IHJ internet.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
no, the man
it's a
shut it
resin.
down.
It's powered by guys in a powwow going whoa, 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 and they ran a whoa.
She's back.
All right.
You guys, I'm in a fucking 3-star hotel with really shitty internet. So I'm like running down the hallway.
No, it's always interesting. It seems like whenever we have anybody in any technology business, we're
gonna
trouble.
clip this, right? We're gonna clip this.
Clip this.
Yes.
Oh, there's the ice machine. That shit is made out of solar panels. No, I'm just kidding. Guys, is it better out here?
Yes,
a lot better.
Oh,
okay,
all
so
right.
We didn't lose a bit while you were running. That's amazing.
Yeah, not at all. Okay, so
all right.
Do my best.
All right, we're gonna clip that also. Okay, so
no, this is a bit where we never let Steven ever really ask the question. We just keep him starting to ask the question, and we never let him finish. Go ahead.
Okay, so
all right.
my
no,
questions
do you want to ask that question or not?
God damn it.
No. Do you do? Go ahead. Ask a question. Go ahead.
So,
is your question going to start soon?
I hate it here, Grandpa.
Go ahead.
So
I won't bother
my questions are: one, when towing it with an electric vehicle, does it have any significant impact on the longevity of that particular charge? Like, for example, if you get 330 miles on a charge, if you're towing that, do you see a significant drop, or do you still maintain roughly that?
Okay. Here's my answer. It's towable. That means you don't tow it. Like, how often do you move your refrigerator, guys?
Me?
Well, so
I'm kind of freaky about that. I move it every day. When I shave my head, I'm.
Did you ever wonder why should a fridge have wheels on it? You never move that fucker.
No.
Yeah. Oh,
it has wheels on
it. Behind it.
Move it.
So
okay.
the reason I ask though is because like one of the uses I think of is like, let's say you're somebody who likes to camp with their vehicle,
right?
So they want to take it on a trip with them.
Okay, you did not get my full pitch deck. We just did the 90 seconds. You asked about all the right questions, guys. You asked about the wheels and whether or not steel. Now you're asking about whether or not it goes on the freeway, how much. No, guys, check it out. The fact is there are already portable solutions out there, but they're not 5 kilowatt. You can bring all sorts of EV charging plugs with you on off-grid. Off-grid is no problem. See, and that's what everybody does. Shit, I'm going to get in trouble. Somebody's going to come out here with a gun. I'm in New Mexico. Lord, they're after me. I'm coming over here. Okay, so the reality is that this thing is interconnected to the grid. So when we first won the American-made Solar Prize, the smart question that everybody asks isn't, it's why aren't you guys just going off grid? Just fucking get rid of the plug, put a bunch of batteries on that thing, and start selling to the millionaires who are Mine Dog's neighbors.
Yeah.
And tell the other guys around him to fuck off if you don't like my portable, powerful carport.
If I had more than a week to live, I would go off grid.
Okay, so I would give this to you, and you'd put it in. And here's the reality: I have 5 of them in the field. You think the guys who don't like that solar field don't like your carport? You know what they're going to do? They're going to ask you how much it is and where they can get one, because that's all anybody has gotten so far that has actually put it in their driveway. But you guys, those are people who already have an interconnect agreement. Those are folks who are smoking marijuana, right? Getting ready to be dragged away by the marijuana police while, they're activists because they don't have an interconnect agreement for that particular solution, okay? Because it's plug-in and it's got wheels, right? So here's the reality is if more and more and more people actually do it, and the DOE is totally pro this, they will keep giving me money, guys. I probably have enough money to put these things in your front yard. You just got to be prepared to get dragged away by the solar police. But they can't get involved in policy. They can't get involved in lobbying. There is all these AHJs. How are you going to tell them all? We are the government. You must accept generation. Guess who did that? Not the United States. Germany. That's right.
I'm sorry.
Germany.
I'm looking for the domain name whiteweedonwheels.com.
Okay, so my other question is since it does generate so much power, because I don't think the batteries are necessary, but with the idea of taking it with you when you do go camping, or when you're going way off road, where you're off grid, have you guys thought about making a version that is capable of going more rugged?
Not interesting.
No. I was curious.
I think like a starter. It could be a starter. You know what? I think it could get people more. Okay, if you're just selling to like campers and stuff, they start doing that and they say, you know what? I'm ready now to invest in a big unit for the home use. That could be like you get people. It's like a gateway drug.
All right, I hear you. Gateway drug. I hear you. And you know what? We will be forced, very likely, to first be what they call the beachhead market. Stringy, remember that? Very stringy. Beachhead market will very likely be off grid just because there's so much resistance. All right. Yeah. So why do you think I'm here in New Mexico? And when I hang up here, I got to go over the other side where I'm the Pueblo Cultural Center, and we're discussing solutions for tribal nations who, by the way, listen to this one, they get money from the government, right? And it all goes to some tribe dude, the head honcho, whatever. And there's people there with no electricity. They have 15% unelectrified people who walk outside their house and they see giant, cables of electricity going across their reservation to bring electricity somewhere else, but they don't have electricity. So those are the people who need solutions. And we're working with, tribal interconnection specialists who are kind of like the go-to people, because I'm sorry, I don't speak any Navajo. I don't know about you guys.
I do. I'm very fluent.
I know a couple, but I don't speak it.
I've been a hoe, but I don't speak Navajo.
See, I know a hoe, but I don't. Yeah.
Well, yeah, don't get on me when I start talking with Potawatomi, and all the other tribes. Ooh. The fact is, they're hungry for real good solutions, smart solutions. And there are folks out there that see the potential in this. So they are their own AHJs. They're their own authority having jurisdiction. They're their own nation, and they get to tell FPL and Duke and Dominion to go take a hike, that they must receive this electricity because they are their own authority.
Yeah,
so that is why we're here.
I always feel like the government is, because here in New York we have this you really no money out of pocket. Then they call you and they tell you, actually, you do have to put up money out of your pocket. The government will reimburse you over, and it feels like a scam, which is why I have not gone that route.
Mr. Mindon, I am here to tell you that I will not spend 15 seconds on here talking about the present state-of-the-art residential rooftop solar. I'm not interested in discussing it. It's a farce. It's bullshit, and it actually is being funded for the present players, the powers that be right now. It
feels like a scam.
They don't want you to have solar.
Right.
Nobody out there wants you to have solar. I would say, I don't mean to sound too paranoid, but I've just seen the amazingness of it, and there's a lot of players out there. I'm going to take it a step further. It's not even the fossil fuel industry anymore. The ones who don't want you to have solar are the people who want to control your solar. So now we have community solar. You mentioned that big solar farm. You think whoever made that solar farm would be really happy if you generated your own solar? Fuck no. You'd be taking away their subscription. So now my battle has widened to other people who want to control your generation. So I'm here. Gizmo Power has trademarked "Make Electricity Great Again." Mega. They're going to be wearing mega hats.
Okay, that thing is called a Mega. It's a mobile electricity generating appliance, and it is going to change
Hold on, I gotta tase myself just in honor of that mega
just
thing.
a little bit. Just a little bit. Just change the world a little bit.
My taser is not working. This is
no taser. All right.
I promise
Hey,
you, I
guys,
stick
give me
it in my mouth.
more questions, or are we done?
Well, we're almost done. The affordability of this guy. I don't know if you want to talk about prices, but GD has been magnanimous enough to promise everybody in the audience listening today that he would buy one of those units from you and give them out to everybody in the audience today. So we want to know what you pay.
Let me talk to the people in the audience. Anybody out there who wants a Mega? Especially if you're poor, if you're a person of color, and if you're, handicapped and you only have one eye. Perfect.
I'll take the other one.
What if you're a pirate with a wooden leg?
I need the ones who are poor, handicapped, one eye, and it'd be good if you're gender fluid and all that. Yeah. Whoever you are, you contact us. We will, for free, apply for an interconnect agreement in your sunny parking lot, driveway, or wherever you have control. You don't even need to own it. Just control, like a renter of a space. We will apply for that interconnect agreement, and then we will take that information and bring it back to the DOE on our dime. If you get an interconnect agreement, we will bring you a Mega for free. Wow. And we will put it in front of your house. You get it for 90 days for free. If you don't love that thing, then we can start talking about financing. Let's quickly talk financing. $17,500. You get 30% off the top. If you're poor, you'll get an additional 20% off the top for being in a designated zip code. If you're tribal, you get an extra 20% off the top. We're talking a check. We're not talking off your because they realize not everybody makes that much money. So they will write you a check for the amount up to 70% of that, 70,500. The rest you can have financed, because now it's an asset that they can repossess. This is very easy to finance.
Wow.
So,
great stuff. I'm loving it. Yeah, no, I could see the Puspatuk. All
there goes our monetization.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
GD, you're the first one to get one. You got to talk to Carol. Let's get one in your driveway in Baltimore, because I tell you what, Maryland says that they want to get off of fossil fuels. Let's see them put their money with the fucking mouths. Let's do this.
This is very, very cool. I am definitely interested. I'm going to follow up. I'm definitely be pushing this. I'm going to be going. I just have some business down on the reservation myself. Coming up.
Push it.
Yeah.
Hey, before Erica, before you leave, can you possibly ask the hotel for all the security cam footage of you in the hallway for the last, 15 minutes or so?
That's a great idea.
He's not wearing pants. You can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm wearing really awesome pants, actually.
Well, neither am I. Well, thank you for sharing this information. I apologize for you having to know GD and all, but
no problem. Portable, powerful. Plug it in.
All right.
And
well, thank you.
Patented, so don't you fucking steal my idea, you asshole.
GizmoPower.com.
Off-road version. That's
yes, Gizmo Power. Thank you.
Have a great day and enjoy the res.
I will. You guys are awesome. Bye.
Talk to you later.
All right.
Now
I need an investor.
What the hell is going on here?
I need an investor to invest in my off-road solar panel setup.
GD, I gotta. How do you know Erica? I mean, how did you come to know her? How does she? I'm
pineapples.
You come on. How do you know her? I mean, how did you get?
Biblically.
Huh?
Not biblically.
No, I mean, how did? Because you know, it's comedy and solar power.
I know it through comedy. Okay, there's a podcast that I used to write for called Politipod. She was also a contributing member of Politipod, and we also know each other through Dylan Brody.
Oh, okay. All right, that answers that. Now, do we know if it's safe for chickens? Because we know windmills are not safe for eagles. Do we?
As far as I know, chickens do not get cancer from solar panels.
I don't think cancer was the problem. I think with the eagles, they were just dropping out of the sky from the windmills for some reason. They just
I think the windmills were smacking birds.
Oh,
and then
I
think the solar panels. I think the only thing is, don't they get really hot? So if any animals land on them, they get burned.
That's the problem. It's not the windmill's fault that the fucking eagles are supposed to have good eyes, right? That eagle eye. If they're fucking blind and flying into windmills,
they do. They kill. It's bald eagles too. It's bald eagles that get whapped all the time.
I think maybe because they like to build nests on tall places, and they keep trying to build a nest on the top blade. When the blade goes the highest blade, and then they try to put a nest there, but that blade keeps moving, and so they try to put a nest on the other blade.
So we really just need smarter birds. We need smarter birds.
The one in Indiana was trying to build a nest not on the blades, but on the box behind the blades. And it got hit by the windmill in just right outside of Indianapolis. And they found that it was starting to build a nest up there. But yes, it was building a nest up there. It got thwapped.
All right, I'm gonna get an AHJ while we listen to the news. That's an auto hand job, right? It's time for the news. Let's listen to some terrible news because everything's bad.
More than a dozen people have died following severe and historic flooding in parts of Europe over the weekend, which overtook several towns. Some areas are now seeing water levels recede, but more rain is expected in the coming days.
8 new deaths were reported over the weekend in Poland, the Czech Republic, Romania, and Austria, raising the total death toll to at least 15. Thousands of Europeans were evacuated from their homes after Storm Boris brought approximately a month's worth of rain to Central Europe within 24 hours. Benjamin Wright reporting.
A massive pipeline fire near Houston, which burned for hours, was triggered when a vehicle struck an above-ground valve after driving through a fence, officials reported.
Authorities in Deer Park stated that both local police and FBI agents have found no evidence of terroristic activity. They also believe this to be an isolated incident. The investigation is ongoing and includes efforts to identify the driver. The pipeline explosion sent towering flames over nearby neighborhoods for hours. Kyle Norris reporting.
The Biden administration requested special permission from Congress last month to increase Secret Service spending in the upcoming weeks, even if only a short-term spending bill is passed to prevent a government shutdown, multiple sources from Congress, and the administration confirmed.
The White House Office of Management and Budget submitted this so-called anomaly request to congressional committees in August, before the second alleged assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump, this time at his golf course in West Palm Beach, Florida. Congressional staffers indicate growing concerns over the Secret Service's funding. Liam White reporting.
Ryan Wesley Ruth, the suspect in the alleged assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump, never had the Republican presidential nominee in his sights and did not fire a single shot.
Secret Service Acting Director Ron Rowe Jr. reported at a news conference that an agent, positioned several hundred yards ahead of Trump on Sunday, noticed a gun barrel protruding from the tree line near the 6th green of Trump International Golf Club and fired at the suspect around 1:31 p.m. Lawrence Keller reporting.
I thought it was a gun barrel. The guy was getting high in the weeds. Like people who get high in Florida do. They go in the weeds because it's not legal there.
An 8-year-old girl took an SUV from her Ohio home and drove for miles to a store where she was later found unharmed, authorities stated.
The girl, whose name has not been released, and the vehicle, a 2020 Nissan Rogue, were reported missing around 9 a.m. Sunday, according to Bedford police. Family members said they last saw the girl at the residence about 2 hours prior. As police began their investigation, they received reports of a small child seen driving a vehicle on a nearby road. Jessica Oakley reporting.
A Kentucky lawmaker was critically injured when the lawnmower he was riding shooting fell into an empty swimming pool at his home, authorities reported.
State Senator Johnny Turner, a Republican from Harlan, was listed in critical but stable condition at the University of Tennessee Medical Center in Knoxville, according to Kentucky Senate President Robert Stivers. Turner sustained injuries when he drove his mower into the deep end of the pool, Kentucky State Police confirmed. Kevin Sanders reporting.
Rescuers freed an 11-year-old boy who became trapped for more than 9 hours after slipping between two boulders near his school, a New Hampshire fire chief stated.
The boy was extracted from the boulders in Windsor at around 3:15 a.m. He was then taken to a hospital for evaluation and later released, according to the Wedeco School, where he is a student. First responders from at least 5 other communities, along with state police and the Fish and Game Department, assisted in the rescue in Windsor, southern New Hampshire. Paul Gomez reporting.
2 now retired chiefs from the New York City Fire Department were arrested early Monday morning after a year-long corruption investigation, law enforcement sources revealed.
Retired
Thank God. I got to bring the bomb back down close to the news so we can bomb the news on a regular basis. Here's the deal. An 8-year-old girl can drive a car safely all around town, pulling solar panels wherever she goes that she stole from my driveway. But a full-grown man can't drive his friggin' lawnmower without falling in the pool. Right? That's the gist of today's.
It's possible that the little girl was sober and the guy with the lawnmower wasn't.
I prefer a little girl drunk and the guy totally straight as an arrow. I don't know. It's just like every day the news gets more bizarre. Basically, what we're coming down to is this is just proof, evidence that humanity is getting stupider by the moment.
But there was a press release from the guy who ran his mower into the pool, and it basically he blamed it on Haitians who ate his guard dog, which prevents him from riding his mower into the pool. His dog is supposed to stop him, but they ate his dog.
All right,
no one there to warn him, and he ran right into
you got to draw the line at eating service animals, right? I mean, pets is one thing,
but some people have no scruples. They'll eat service animals. They have no scruples whatsoever, and lie about it.
All right. Well, you can get scruples now, portable scruples, and put them in your driveway. If they're on wheels, you can get scruples for free, actually. I mean, they will be provided for you at a great discount. I mean, no money out of pocket, whatever. The government's behind the whole thing. Do you get, before we get to Neil, and who's waiting patiently in the background, I understand Erica's kind of almost conspiratorial bent on it's all about power and who gets the money and all this kind of stuff. But where I am, nobody's getting the money because except Big Oil is still getting the money, or whoever is powering the local power plants here. But there was a solution in place, and it wasn't that necessarily I was taking money out of their pockets. It was that the people just who were getting a discount because of the solar farms complained about it being an eyesore, which is just, do we want a fucking planet that will sustain itself, that we don't have to go looking for other planets in other solar systems that we're never going to get to? Or do we want to take care of this planet, not like it's a disposable throwaway thing? That's
See, my understanding was it wasn't the eyesore people that complained. It was there was another company that has their own sun. They have their own sun that they want to use. They don't want to use our sun. They want you to use their sun. And so that was where the controversy. Yeah, that's where the controversy. Yeah, that's when the controversy started. They had their own. Matter of fact, Elon Musk has his own sun that he wants us to use. He doesn't want us to use the one that we've got there, and that's why he's spreading all of these conspiracy theories.
I thought Steven was our Alex Jones guy, but you're sounding a little bit like Alex Jones there.
No, it's look, I'm telling you, they call themselves billionaires, right? And like billionaire brothers. They're billionaires. They have their own sun.
They're called billionaires.
Yeah,
there you go.
They're trying to replace our sun with their sun, so we have to pay them to use.
It's a bunch of pros trying to be billionaires. They want to replace the sun.
I feel so bad for Neil, who's sitting in the back listening to this and thinking, you know what, I could still get out of this, right? I could run. But we can't because I'm going to bring him in now. Just before I do that, just one thing on the Musk thing. Musk is one of these people who sets up accounts on his own social media site and then has conversations with himself verifying his own thoughts. Like he'll put out something. He's got like several I know he set these up, and he says something good about himself, and then says thank you to himself. This is
there's proof of that. He had this may have been 6 months ago, but there was an article made on Gizmodo, I think, about he shared a screenshot of his desktop of his Twitter page, and he had like 4 or 5 different accounts down there, and you can see him having conversations with those profile pictures.
Right, yeah.
And crazy. It's hilarious. Yeah, it's a well-known thing.
All right, let's what do we
I was just going to say he couldn't even man up to fight Zuckerberg. So, I mean, why would anyone get behind him?
Yeah. I'll fight Zuckerberg. Put me in, coach. Let's move on now. Neil Laird is an LGBTQIA+. I got it all right? Did I get it right? You listening? Emmy. I got that part wrong. Multi-Emmy nominated director of historical films for Discovery BBC, which means it's not the BBC you're thinking of. PBS channel. Could be. National Geographic and many other networks. He has produced over 100 programs around the globe that feature crumbling Egyptian tombs, lost Mayan cities, and mysterious shipwrecks at the bottom of the sea. He's also an author of Time Traveling, but prime time. You get it. Which is a book out now. He's here now, and I'm sure he regrets being here now. But let's welcome him.
Yeah, look at the time. I'd love to stay, but I think I got to wrap this up. Can we do it in 2 minutes?
I appreciate that sentiment. Believe me, I understand where it's coming from. I just have to.
I enjoyed it from this. I don't know how I'm going to follow up on all that stuff, but I'll throw myself in there and see what happens.
You are a doppelganger for the proprietor of the Governor's Comedy Network, which we are on for another 40 minutes or so. Tony Walker, you look just like the guy who runs the network.
Okay, I don't know if that's good. I won't Google him because I'll be afraid to see what he looks like. But
well, you just look.
I'll cautiously thank you.
Just look in your webcam and you'll see him.
You can Google him. You just have to you have to have consent.
Right.
Because he doesn't like being Googled without consent. I've run into that issue with him.
I am very confused by all the letters because the I was
Me
not.
too. Look, and I'm always embarrassed. It's like it's a bloody alphabet, and probably by the time you said it, 6 more have been attached.
Right.
I stopped memorizing after 6 or 7.
I thought it was like the Mandela effect because the I was new. The I wasn't in there the last time I read it, and
I literally have to Google it sometimes and see, oh, that's what it is now too. And I just say queer because it's just easier and it's just a word we reclaim.
But
so.
see, but you're saying queer, but sometimes the Q is questioning. And so they'll say, no, I'm not queer, I'm questioning. And then they're like, well, how about QQ? Can you just put 2 Qs there?
Yeah, it's a slippery slope, man. It's a slippery slope.
Yeah,
and 2 Qs there and let them fight over which Q is what there.
Right.
To be absolutely fair about honest about this, I have been told by a lesbian that I am not allowed to use queer. I'm not allowed to say queer because I come from the generation where queer was an insult. And so I'm not allowed to say that anymore. I have to say the Q. Which feels a little.
Yeah,
I didn't do it.
I didn't make the rules, dude. I didn't make the rules.
Yeah, but so now with the plus, that seems to cover everybody.
That is just et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
Yeah. So why not just say people at some point?
Well, again, if we talk about my books and my thing, one of the things I learned along the way is. Back in the ancient times where I spend most of my time, they didn't have a name for it at all. You were just it. It was just like you were just that. They didn't need to have an acronym or a moniker. It's like I wish we could go back to those days.
Exactly. I was talking about that earlier. I'm just trying to bring up your book, and everybody's hiding my stuff today. Here it is. But I had watched a program on ancient Rome, ancient Greece, and they were saying gay was not a thing. It was just people had people made love or whatever, and they didn't label it. It was just like there was nothing stigmatizing about it. It was just there.
It was just there, just like anything. You're into brunettes or blondes or men or women. It didn't matter. It was just whatever you fancied.
Right. So when did that change?
Christianity, pretty much the 4th century when Christianity came roaring in. A lot of it was, the Greco-Roman, the Egyptian, all those early cultures, the quote unquote pagan heathen cultures, they had much more open understanding to it. When Christianity came in, largely to wipe away the pagan religions. They went after same sex and all the things they thought decadent as well. So in ancient Rome, you could become an emperor and be gay. 200 years later, you'd be burnt in a fire.
Wow, because he's, I think the teachings of Christ were to love everybody and not. I don't know. I'm not a theologian, and I don't really know.
Nor am I. I don't want to touch that in case somebody else is here. But certainly, what the book says and what people do, as we know, in all walks of life, are often
Right.
diametrically opposed.
So the question I have is not necessarily related to anything on the rainbow spectrum here. It's related to why somebody who is already a very successful filmmaker would want to get in the nasty publishing business because
it ain't like TV is all wine and roses, because it's dying too. Streaming is really killing it, and certainly seeing the writing on the wall pushed me out of the room. But I've done 1,000 hours of television, 100 shows. I've been in 70 some countries doing archaeology shows, and it's all about footnotes. It's all about getting the facts right, which is great. I'm working on a History Channel show right now, before and after this podcast. But I want to make stuff up for a change. I wanted to go back to the ancient past and tell stories about people, whether queer or straight, make it up, have fun with it. And it's a parody too, because the books are all about a TV crew, a largely feckless sort of ancient aliens like TV crew that gets sucked into the past. They time travel and go back to the times of Ramsey the Great or Pompeii or Troy, hoping to win an Emmy. So clearly it's skewering my day job.
Gotcha.
Now, my question is, because you deal with artifacts quite a bit. How old do you think Matt is? No, just no.
It's carbon dating. We need carbon dating.
Yeah, we need to do some carbon dating on that.
I've never dated
after
carbon.
10 or 20,000 years, you can't get a good rating.
Okay, because we're trying to. We know by his references, we know that he's ancient, but we just can't tell how old he is.
I'm very
We'll
hurt.
do studies later.
I'm very hurt by that, and I'll deal with it. I'll get therapy and I'll get over it. But so now I know you produce for the History Channel, but you mentioned Ancient Aliens and all that stuff. When did the History Channel become not so much history? Because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you are really sticking to true history.
Yeah, I don't do the paranormal. I certainly have dabbled in that, done a few of them over the years, but I've been lucky to avoid that whole shit show. But those rate a lot better than the shows I do on ancient Troy or ancient Rome. They're much more interested in the ghost and the goblins and the Loch Ness monster.
Yeah, well, I have a slight suggestion. I think I know how to make yours more popular. See, the ancient aliens ones, everything they suggest, there's no answer to at the end. See, like Bigfoot, and there's no resolution. You need to do a history where there's no resolution. That's it. Just have unresolved. Just call it unresolved history.
I do that all the time. I'm doing a mystery show now for history about did the Tower of Babel exist? And why was Machu Picchu built? So you can look at real history and it's still never get an answer. If you tune in for an hour-long show on History Channel Discovery, you're not going to get the answer of did the Tower of Babel exist or not. We just don't have quite that time, that money, and that kind of resources to find that out.
Right. What about permits?
Even the history shows are still very much open-ending because
with the Tower of Babel, did anybody put in for permits? Because there may be records of that, because they have records for almost everything if it's in the written record. So
they did. I'm literally writing that script right now, and without going down a rabbit hole, when in the Jewish captivity in the 5th century BC, when they were there, they wrote about a ziggurat being built by Nebuchadnezzar II, which went back to the original tower of 1,000 years earlier. Whether it was, some people said it was 8 miles high, literally, and scraped the sky, and clearly was a myth. But even myths are based on something. So while it's long destroyed and ruined, it's highly possible that a tower, the highest in the world, could have been built. Apparently, you can go 1.3 miles in the air before air runs out. So theoretically, if they wanted to, they could go that high.
Well, it's possible that it was a skyscraper, but it was just a really cloudy day, real fog. And so, because fog is nothing but clouds.
Yes.
I think more likely just like a Will Chamberlain exaggerator was right keeping the records. Yeah, mine is this big.
Yeah, more or less. Exactly. Yeah. That's history. That's history, man.
Yeah. But it's because coming back to my question about going from films to publishing. Now you've written this book. Is the hope now to turn this book into an actual TV series or a movie or?
I mean, it's very cinematic. I wouldn't go the documentary route because, again, it's fiction. But, clearly it's very cinematic. And one thing that I brought from my skills working in television, of course, was a very cinematic eye. So it plays out. Again, the last half of Primetime Travelers, the book up there, is about the film crew going to the Duat, which is the 12 hours of Egyptian hell, looking for a lost mummy. And there's different gates, and each one has a demon and a goblin that can stop you. This is all based on Egyptian mythology. That would make a kick-ass movie or a game right there. So I have my eye towards that. But it's funny. If it happens, I don't want to be the one to write it. I want to write books. I love the literary stuff. What I missed of 25 years of being in the field, writing scripts and having other people do the talking and the answering is I want to create that world. I want to use the literary language. So I'm really happy if it just stays the novel. But clearly, there's money and there's the possibility of a book like this becoming very, very filmic.
Yeah, I am fascinated by time travel, and I'm part of time travel groups. And here's it always gets really friggin' kooky with the time travel people. But I always say, you want to time travel, do what you have already been doing is revisiting history. You can go back to the past, maybe not physically, but you can be an archaeologist. You can, if you want to time travel, be a historian. And this is at least going in the past. I don't know if you could be a futurist.
And look, that's what I've done as a filmmaker. I realized early on I wasn't scientifically smart enough to be an archaeologist and learn 12 language and patient enough to sit there with a little brush and look at a potsherd and get excited. But I have been there when they've opened tombs in Egypt, when the hot air of 4,000 years brushes past me, when you see a body preserved for 4 millennia for the first time since then. That's like stepping in the past too, because it literally is sealed off for millennia. So I feel like I've dipped my toes in that. But certainly when a lot of these ruins, I just say, what the hell must this look like when King Tut walked through it, or when Caesar conquered it and destroyed it. Those are things I love. And it's I know, like the book I'm writing right now that comes out next month, Primetime Pompeii, the sequel. It's about the film crew, now with a bigger budget, going back and making a 2-hour special about the eruption of Mount Vesuvius. And that's something I've done 7 or 8 shows on. So I know that stuff intimately. Every by the hour, I know when the Puma Stone started, when the earthquake started, when the lightning started, when the pyroclastic flow wiped everything out in the 49th hour. So I took all the historical stuff and just jumbled it into a kind of fun, jokey romp about a TV crew. And that's why I'm doing it. I'm going to have some fun with everything I know.
I'm just curious. Does any of the TV crew get caught in the lava, and we find them later on as one of the maybe with the camera?
You can buy the book for $13.99. I'll send you.
We don't want to spoil it, GD. We're not asking to give away.
Why would I tell you now?
Yeah,
because you like.
But those plaster casts.
That would be a first.
I thought you'd tell me because we were friends. That's like friends just talking. That's all. I thought it was just like friends 2 buddies.
Nobody's listening. This is very interesting stuff. I gotta ask though, because you're talking about and we talked about the History Channel, and you're talking about ancient times, and every time I have these kind of questions, Atlantis comes up.
I love Atlantis.
Atlantis Morissette?
I mean, I think I bought this nice Brooklyn apartment you can't see on Atlantis shows. They're just one of those evergreen things you go back to. And people can take a scientific approach to it. They can take a fantastical approach. I mean, basically, Atlantis on the surface of it isn't totally fantastical because it was basically a city that got washed away by water. That got that flooding. Earthquake happens all the time in Greece. I was just in Turkey last summer, and I was paddling over in a sunken city where you can see Roman reliefs 10 feet down. So the concept of a lost city under the Mediterranean isn't outrageous. It's just only when you get all the facts and say an entire culture was wiped out and disappeared, and thinking you can find it is where it becomes, the endless cycle of, now could it be here? People say it's off the coast of Bimini. People say it is off the coast of Gibraltar, downtown
Bimini
Pittsburgh.
Road.
I mean, people go on and on and on with some of this nonsense because it's what's interesting about television is, even though I do all manner of subjects, there are evergreen ones that people go back to.
Right.
Atlantis is one of them. People can't get enough of Atlantis. They can't get enough of the Bermuda Triangle still. I watched Bermuda Triangle shows as a kid in the 70s, and they still rate.
Yeah.
Now, because the thing about Atlantis is it's been so blown up. Like by the time Plato wrote about it, but between that time and Edgar Casey, I guess they developed flying cars.
Which is a big spread.
Yeah, they developed flying cars. Flying horses. Like everything was like so. They were so advanced. So when did that happen? When did they become like when did they go from a lost city that had maybe decent technology, like indoor plumbing, and to where they were so advanced?
A lot of those myths, again, Plato is already probably talking about myth because I don't think he claims to have seen it. It was already done and dusted when he was there. So it was already in the land of legend. And again, to compare it to the Tower of Babel kind of becomes this Rorschach test. Whatever you want to be, you could put it on there. I just did a show about the Knights Templar in this place called Roslyn Chapel, if you know where this is. One of my first shows was up there years ago. And it was I did a show about the head of Christ being underneath the altar. Turned out to be a broom closet. I saw it.
Wow.
They also, but then the next month it's the Holy Grail is
I think it would be better if you made it to janitor's closet. That would be even better.
Has anybody ever found anything?
It was with a sink and a mop, so you call it what you want. Yeah, it was where he put his rake, where the janitor put his rake.
Has anybody ever found anything of value there, or of intellectual value?
Well, the reason about Roslyn is so freaking weird. If you've been there, it's just festooned with all these very strange arcane symbols, and then you got the Knights Templar on top of it, who were crucified and massacred, and you got this mystery. What did they smuggle out of the Temple Mount? So again, it's one of those self-perpetuating myths that you can add anything to over the years because it's totally bereft of evidence. Whatever you say, it's most of these shows. The mantra is the lack of evidence is evidence. Right. I will write an entire book based on the fact that you as an Egyptologist can't prove otherwise because the historical record is gone. Therefore, the Sphinx is 10,000 years older than you say and built by an alien race. And you got to prove it by proving me that, they wrote, there's a thing that says, I built the Sphinx in 1292 BC. The whole argument is you don't have that, then clear for is aliens. It's a circular argument.
Do you go out of your way to incorporate an LGBT with the rainbow letters into everything you do? And
not the films. And another reason why I wrote the book is because the lead character, as you can see Jared there, buff, good looking. He's a gay guy that comes out in the first book. His camera woman Kara is a tough lesbian from the Bronx, all kind of based on either myself or people I met in the field. And it's their story. So they're strong, positive, queer characters. And each of the characters in the past, they meet people and fall in love with someone in Pompeii or Troy or whatever. But it's not a hot and spicy thing. It's just try to justify gay characters. I do that largely because I can't do it on television. Television has to appeal to a large swath of people. We have to appeal, and it's, I'm in New York City, and you go into a Discovery Channel office where I worked for 15 years or whatever. We're a bunch of butch lesbians and gay guys, and we're as liberal as they come. But we have to make shows for, what they call the C counties, way in the sticks, as well as New York and LA and Chicago. So you have to be everything for everyone, and you don't want to offend anybody. So one of the first things that's whitewashed is sexuality.
Well, let me just push back on that a little bit because I don't watch television, but my wife does, and she says that every show she watches feels like they have to. They feel mandatory inclusion of everybody. Everybody has to be represented, no matter what they're.
That's more narrative than it is in documentary. I'm a different world than the fictional shows where they'll get the gay characters or the mixed color characters. In television, it's still sort of old school, and most of it where they want to know the facts. So you could bring in a small character. I did a show a few years ago, and I pushed for it, and they let me do it. One of the reasons that made me realize that the gay life was a lot more open back then was one of my first trips to Egypt. I came to this tomb in Saqqara called the Tomb of the Brothers. You guys heard of this place?
No.
I know you've been to Saqqara.
Black guys?
Saqqara is a step pyramid. Nope, no, not that kind of brothers. But it's my kind of brothers. And basically, what it is a tomb from 4,500 years ago, built right next to the pharaoh, which means it was prime real estate. There was no happenstance gate. If you were buried here, you had the pharaoh's blessings. And it was two queer guys that clearly went off in eternity together. And you look at the frescoes on the wall when they're touching nose to nose, the ancient Egyptian form of kissing. You see them at barbecues and fishing over the wall. It was this lovely palace of these two queer guys from 4,500 years ago. Yet, flash forward to when it was found in 1964 by Egyptian and British archaeologists, and they could not possibly call it gay. So they called it the tomb of the two brothers. These guys were literally brothers that were married or that were buried together because they just, were such good siblings. They had to be buried together. And to explain the nose to nose, one guy went as far as to say, "Oh, they were Siamese twins. That's why they were nose to nose. They literally could not look the other way. They were physically unable to do anything but touch nose to nose." They're bending over backwards for modern day homophobia when the pharaoh of the fourth dynasty let them do whatever they wanted.
Yeah, well, bending over backwards would be much more. I don't know. What else?
You had to go low. You had to go low. Huh?
Suggestive.
Well, yeah. Trust me, there's that stuff.
It would be hard to come up with an alibi like why are they bending over backwards?
They were circus. They were acrobatic brothers. They belonged in the Egyptian circus.
Have you faced any, I don't know, political blowback? I don't know if that's the right word, but just, religious blowback from any of this kind of inclusion in the book? Because there are.
I got a few, on Amazon, when you publish on Amazon and Kindle, you're really open to the reviews because that helps the algorithm go up on Amazon. And I got some 1-star reviews pretty quickly, and it was clear they were going after the gay thing because I don't hide the gay thing. They didn't read it. They opened and read it in 6 minutes. And clearly they were sending some sort of political message rather than saying, if they come up, they said it was some of the shittiest writing I did and I don't give a crap about this. That's one thing. I can't fight that as much. But clearly they were going after to try to destroy the algorithm, go after a gay guy. And I read on the writers groups and other authors, and there's a lot of people do that. It's not just homophobes. It's a very interesting. I like one of my genres, the male to male space, and a lot of people read that, and the biggest readership is actually women, straight women.
Well, I have a friend who writes gay wrestling novels, and he says that his biggest demographic is women, who like romance novels, and they don't see any the romance. He said it's not, to quote him, it's not all ass fucking, it's romance, and that's what appeals to women. It's just the same story. It just happens to be two men.
Masculinity, and you got to give them a happy ending. It could be spicy or not spicy. They don't seem to care. But what's interesting is I've been reading online, to get back to your point, to some guy who wrote a time travel book in Wales about Wales and the British or whatever, and gay. And he got attacked by some women who write the space and say, this is our space, not yours. Because a lot of women writers are actually doing it. So they're claiming a space that is actually queer, even though they're straight, saying we kind of created this. We put it out there. We are the bigger readership. You have no right as a gay man to be writing gay fiction.
All right, I'm going to be a little bit
screwed up it is. That's how screwed up it is.
I'm going to be a little bit of a bigot here and stereotype, because I'm part of this time travel people. Time travelers are people who are interested in time travel are not all that far from people who are interested in flat Earth. They tend to be extremely conservative. I mean, want to go back not just 100 years, but a few thousand years. So the possibility of writing a book that appeals to people who are interested in time travel, but it's also it's a bugaboo for them once they find out, oh wait, there's man-on-man love going on here. So is that a challenge for you?
Look, I already have one book out, and sales have been fine. It's hard to know who's reading and writing, and it's a slow climb to kind of get followers. I actually know I sliced the pie very, very thin. And I do this, but I also wanted to kind of stand out and do something a bit different based on things that I learned. So look, even if I didn't do that, as you say, publishing is so whack. You're not going to make a lot of money anyways. You don't get rich as a novelist. So I'm writing the books I want. Hopefully they'll catch on in a smaller subgenre. But I recognize, I'm probably alienating more people than I'm attracting with this, because they may love time travel or the Indiana Jones aspect or ancient Egypt, or a lot of queer people may read and say, "Oh, it's not queer enough."
Oh.
You're not having guys bending.
I can't
over.
imagine
You're not
anybody
wallowing in it.
I can't imagine anybody say, "Hey, I was into it just for the romance part of it or the relationship part of it, and then I found out there was time travel in it, and I hate time travel."
No, they won't say that, but I did get some reviews who say, "I wish there was a lot more of the hot and heavy gay stuff, and a little less of the underworld."
Jesus,
Look, you can't appeal to everybody. I'm writing the books I want. I'm still making TV, so at least it's I have something to pay the rent. But I'm writing the books I want.
So Neil, if it would it help your sales if by chance we told people in Florida not to buy your book and burn it?
Well, buy my book and burn it, because
that's what you want.
If we tell them not to buy your book, but they do buy it to burn it, you know what I'm saying?
Right? Yeah, that's reverse psychology. I get it.
Yeah, reverse psychology, because they are a backward sort. So
no such thing as bad publicity, dude. We know that cliche.
Because I'm just saying, my friends in Florida, I'm just saying this book should be bought and burned. Okay, you should buy and burn this book. Okay?
Buy 2 copies. One to burn, one for the show.
Buy 2 copies.
They make great stocking stuffers where you burn the house down.
Yes, buy 2 copies just in case your first book doesn't burn the way you want it.
That's nice, right?
All right, I have to say goodbye to Governor's Comedy Network right now. Give me 1 second.